Hello, today we're going to be looking at simple interest and we're going to do some basic calculations. So interest is a fee or it's a reward paid for the borrowing or the investing of money. If you put money into the bank, you will earn interest. The bank will give you some money as a thank you for lending them the money. If you borrow money from the bank, you will pay interest. You will have to pay a fee for the money you've borrowed. So the formula for simple interest is P times R times T. P stands for principal. This is the amount of money that you invest or you borrow from the bank. R stands for rate. This is the percentage rate the money is calculated at. We use it as a decimal number because it makes our calculations easier to work out. And finally, T stands for time. How many years have passed since the money's been borrowed or invested? For example, Daniel invests $1,000 in his bank account at an interest rate of 4.5% per annum. Annum just means year, for 2 years. So, how much interest can he expect to earn over these 2 years? Well, the first thing we need to do is work out the letters P, R, and T. We know he invested $1,000, so our principal is going to be $1,000. Now the rate of 4.5%, we need to express this as a decimal number. So we're going to write it as 0.045. So our R value that we're going to use is the same, 0.045. And finally, T for time, it was invested for 2 years, so we're just going to use the number 2 as our T value. We substitute those numbers into the formula, and we work out our answer, and we'll get $90. So therefore, Daniel earned $90 in interest. So how much money will he have in his bank account in total? Well, if you started with $1,000 and he earned $90 interest, we're just going to have to add those two numbers together. So the total is the principal plus the interest. So it's going to be 1,000 plus 90, which is $1,090. So that's the total amount of money he has in his bank account. You might be asked to work out the total in different questions, so just remember the total amount is your principal plus your interest. Here's a question for you to try. Chelsea borrows $3,400 to get repairs for her car. The bank charged an interest rate of 5.2% per annum, and she made no repayments for 3 years. What is the total amount of money that Chelsea can be expected to pay back to the bank? If you could please pause the video and give it a go. We'll come back with an answer soon. So the first thing we want to do is work out our principal, our rate, and our time. So the principal, she borrows $3,400, so we're going to make that our P value. The next thing, the rate, was 5.2%, so we're going to write that as a decimal as 0.052. And finally, she borrowed the money for 3 years, so T is going to be 3. If we place those numbers into the formula, we can multiply it out and we'll get $530.40. So, if we need to work out the total of what she needs to pay back, we take our $3,400, that's what we borrowed, and we add on the fee, the interest, $530.40, and we'll get a grand total of $3,930.40. So that's the total amount of money she'll need to pay back. Well, hopefully you found that simple, no pun intended. But if you need help with anything at all, please let me know down in the comments below. Apart from that, have an awesome day.